What's up and welcome back. Today we're talking about what Rockstar doesn't want you to know. I'm Bandit Barney, bringing you everything you need to know about Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. And look how stressed out I am. There's no content for Red Dead Online. All my hair fell out. What's going on? Help me, guys. Buy our new t-shirts. Buy our new t-shirts, recycled content in the link in the description down below. All right, no, but really, what Rockstar doesn't want you to know, well, the game's going really poorly, and I'm sure that you know that already, but new data surfaced from a company called Super Data Research, and this data actually gives proof to how poorly the online is going. And how badly is that? Well, the revenue fell 14% for Red Dead Online from January to February. And a drop is a drop nonetheless, all right? That's a drop, but it's under 15% drop. So it's not like this drastic drop that we would expect to see after the newest update when everyone was extremely frustrated. All the dedicated players were not happy, but to say the least, about this newest update. And I think this newest update turned more players away than anything Rockstar had done previously. So this data, we don't have data from this newest update yet, but we do have data from January to February, and the revenue dropped 14%. That's a significant drop. When you're talking about, you know, in the millions of dollars, you're talking about hundreds of thousands, millions that you're losing in that drop right there. Another thing to note is that GTA Online is making about 5 times more than Red Dead Online, which unfortunately isn't good news for us and this channel. We're done for. We're done for, guys. Unfortunately, it's not good news for us in this channel, because if GTA Online is making 5 times more than Red Dead Online, then obviously there's going to be more put into GTA Online, unless Rockstar sees the potential of Red Dead Online and is saying, you know what, we can turn this around. This can be bigger and better, and it can ultimately compete with GTA Online's in-game spending. Yeah, to specify, we're talking about in-game spending here. And it's just, this company, Super Data, is really opening up the veil on, you know, what's going on at Rockstar that they just haven't talked about. And that is that Red Dead Online is their newest product that is also performing worse than one of their flagship products released 5-6 years ago. That's not good news for us. That's not good news to know that, hey, look here, this thing that's old, 6 years old, yeah, it's rocking the boat over at the company more than this brand new thing. And it, you know, it might be a sign that more is being put into GTA Online for business reasons than Red Dead Online. Now, I don't completely agree with that statement, but if we just look at raw numbers and you were brand new to the situation, you said, here's GTA, here's Red Dead, which product do you want to keep going forward with? And you had no conception of which one was newer, which one had recently gotten the most effort put into it. Someone coming into that situation would say, go to GTA. Clearly, it's working better. Another interesting point is that combined sales from Red Dead Online and GTA Online in January were the same as GTA Online alone in January a year ago. This is all pointing to Red Dead Online just being the flop that, you know, we felt like it was, but we didn't really have any data to follow that up with. Now we do. Red Dead Online is right now a complete flop, and I'm sure that if we could see this data for March, I'm sure that we'd see something around like the 20 to 30% decrease in revenue. Unless I'm completely wrong about that, and all these new things that Rockstar added have actually incentivized players to buy more from their microtransaction store. Unless all these new things that are very expensive, along with the hunting nerf, has led to a portion of the community going to the microtransaction store and buying those gold bars to get all these new items that have that high threshold of entry. So if that's the case, then I could see that more revenue would be coming in. And Super Data doesn't have any strict data on monthly active users. They don't have any strict data that I know of on monthly active users, although it was commented on that they believe the revenue drop from January to February was due to a drop in users. And we can only suspect that the drop in users was much bigger after this newest update that a lot of people were not happy about. For the time being, I'm gonna stay posted on this super data and see if we get anything new related to, you know, I think a more relevant time period, which is when we got our newest update, because that was, to me, something that affected the online experience more than anything else before. And also, we just saw on the channel, like, videos that we were making that were critical of Red Dead Online prior to that update. They got like they did, maybe some of them were getting like 60% like, 65, 70% like. As soon as that update dropped and we made critical videos on Red Dead Online, we were getting like a 90% like ratio on those videos. So we could just see in the like ratio on the videos how much the opinion of people had changed in such a short period of time. That's how much that update turned people off. And now we're starting to see, as we go later on, you know, the community is starting to stabilize once again. But is it starting to stabilize at a more, or at a lower monthly active user rate? If that's the case, and any time you have less users, you're making less money. Now, what I mean by that is that Rockstar could have cashed out here with all the new things they added to the game, but they didn't cash out as well as if they hadn't turned so many players off by getting out an update that people weren't happy about. If they had an update that people were happy about, as well as adding a bunch of new clothing and items that you can purchase in game, the amount of revenue coming in from that would be larger than it is now. I think then the big question is, does this mean anything for Red Dead Online? As far as, you know, like, okay, well, if it's clear that GTA Online is making more money than Red Dead Online right now, what's gonna happen to Red Dead Online? Is it gonna get just left in the dust? And I think this is the worst fear that a lot of us have had around the game, is that, like, is Rockstar ever actually gonna just leave Red Dead Online in the dust because it's not doing well? And to that, I say no. I don't see that being the thing that happens, because it's their newest IP. You know, they're going to want to build it up. It's very clear right now, and it must be very clear to them, that it is underperforming and that something needs to be done to resuscitate it. So I wouldn't be surprised right now if in the background at Rockstar, which is a lot because Rockstar doesn't say anything about anything, in the background at Rockstar, aka over at Rockstar, people are realizing and seeing, like, hey, so we need to get these updates out that the people actually want. We need to get heists out. We need to get viable properties out. We need to get things out that the people have been asking for, because right now, this thing that has been, that's like 5 years old at this point, is doing better than what we just released. Now, that's not to say, and I don't want it to get confused with, obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2 is making much more money than GTA 5 right now, because the game is new. The game without the online portion is phenomenal, and people are salivating over it. Like, it's so good, and it's gotten all the reviews, it's gotten all the good publicity Red Dead 2, the story, needs to blow up in the marketplace. And it has. The numbers are there. It has. But when it comes to the online portion, which is where the company is going to focus to be making money into the future, that has missed the mark severely. And you can tell that because it's already seeing a drop in revenue so significant, 14% in what, January? That's only a couple months after the game. Not even, a couple months. Barely a couple months after the game's been released, and it's seeing a drop in revenue, which is generally when a couple months after the online portion is released is when you get your first, like, big update. Well, realistically, probably 3 months in, 4 months in, which is what just happened. But instead of it going well, it's gone so poorly. So when Rockstar's looked to, like, really step up their game, they had this data before I did, clearly. They had this data day of. In February, they saw, hey, we've lost 14% of our revenue in the online. We need to do something. And they came out with this update, and this update bombed. So now what? Now what do? You just had your second shot at building up the online, and it just missed the mark. I would say, all in all, this information is very interesting, and it finally gives some footing to what we've all been thinking and seeing from each other, is that a lot of people are becoming unhappy with the game and not interested in playing it. Not to say that there aren't people who still enjoy it. There's still people out there who enjoy it. Evidence is that my videos still get views. Oh, dude, we're in trouble. Buy our t-shirts. So the evidence is there that people still enjoy it and are interested in it, right? But that number is dwindling. And at a certain point, when you lose enough players that are interested in it, it's much harder to build that player base back up. Because you can dip, but as long as you still have that solid player base, when something really new, game-changing comes out, those players are there to tell everyone about it. When those players aren't there to tell everyone about it, it's much harder to gain that traction to become the big game that you want to be. So, moral of the story is, Rockstar, give us something good, man. The veil is opening up, and we're seeing the numbers, and it's not looking good. And look, like, we don't want it that way. We don't want it that way, Rockstar. We want to enjoy this game with you. We don't want to be so stressed out about it all the time. And we love you, regardless of, you know, the last couple months hasn't been the best in our relationship. We love the games you make, and we're really looking forward to Red Dead Online being great again. Just, can we speed up the process a little bit? Can we get things moving along a little faster, please? Guys, that's gonna do it for today. If you have anything you want to let me know down in the comments below. Tomorrow we'll be doing our comments video, so anything big, important you have to say, put it in the comments down below. Thank you for stopping by, and until next time, we'll catch you later.